right? Because इस दिन हालांकि वो उन लोगों ने एक बहुत बड़ा बलिदान, एक अपने जीवन की आहुति उन्होंने दी है, लेकिन आज उसका जो बेनिफिट है, उसका जो ब्लेसिंग है, वो हम सबको मिल रहा है. Because we are no more under the captivity of the British rule, but we are freed from the colonial power. और आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि उस समय जब ये हुआ और आज जब हम देखते हैं, Do you think we are really free? क्या हम अपने आप को स्वाधीन मानते हैं? नहीं? हाँ?
Resonances do we find of that in Mamangai's work, who is representative of the kind of writings that we read from the northeast of this country, and writings in English because that is the language that I have access to. If you have access to other languages, please bring that to our attention. Tell us how other writers are dealing with these ideas. And we will wrap up, we will bring this evening to a close by reading a little bit from Joy Harjo, one of our favorite Native American poets, and we will see how there are resonances. That literature is a form of bringing our voices together. I hate it when people say a writer can echo somebody's voice or can give voice to somebody. I don't think our role is that important. We should not think of ourselves as that important. It's just that we are creating a platform and helping people realize that our fight is not insular, our fight is not isolated, that around the world we are talking about similar things in different languages. Let's come together and see how we can save these bodies around us. So Dr. Shogita Shandal will take over and I will introduce her to you. There is something that she hasn't written in her formal bio note, which I will also tell you later. Dr. Shogita Shandal is Assistant Professor in the Department of English and the B.Ed Department, Loreto College. She takes keen interest in literary and culture studies, music, poetry, and translations. Gender studies is a special area. She's also an Executive Council member of the Intercultural Poetry and Performance Library, Kolkata. She believes she would never want to get out of being a student of literature. Over to you, Shogita.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't want to, engage into any other conversation other than just getting on with the topic of the day, and then maybe we are going to get some discussions and comments because I'm going to share my views. They are very basic, but still I do want to do that.
So we'll just quickly switch because there's going to be a presentation.
Yeah.
So maybe you could use the pointer.
Yes, I can do that. Okay. It's already there, right? should we remove the chairs? Shan, is the table okay? For the- If I'm lingering for too long, please feel free to stop me. On that note, I would like to begin. So I begin with a warm greetings to the vibrant audience this evening, some very known faces, and also my new audience here today. I thank Shomrita and of course Shubhashri, who is not present here, my colleague, and the American Center. Without them, I would not be present here today. So our focus read of today is Mummy Dies, The Legends of Pensum. I'm sure many of you have already read one of her poems in your CBCS syllabus, but there's lots more to Mummy Die. So she's one of the most celebrated authors, and her book from and about Arunachal Pradesh, that is The Legends of Pensum, has been doing the rounds for quite a few years now. Now there can be many areas stemming out like branches, I'm using eco-critical imagery, connected mostly that can come up from an author like Mummy Die, whose works don't care to use the thing to do with nature or environment. That's not how it is. Eco represents a very specific aspect of nature. To put simply, feminism is a social and political movement that draws connection between the exploitation and domination of both women and nature. It highlights the intersections between the oppression of women and the degradation of the environment, asserting that both are rooted in similar systems of power and. Basically, ecofeminism connects gender inequality and environmental degradation to repeat. Ecofeminists argue that patriarchal and capitalist systems contribute to both the class and other forms of oppression, understanding that women from marginalized communities are disproportionately affected by environmental issues. It is from here that land and the mother becomes equated and one. Once the women and the land. How a balanced sustainability of.
Don't bother the earth spirit who lives here. She is working on a story. It is the oldest story in the world and it is delicate, changing. If she sees you watching, she will invite you in for coffee, give you warm bread, and you will be obligated to stay and listen. But this is no ordinary story. You will have to endure earthquakes, lightning, the deaths of all those you love, the most blinding beauty. It's a story so compelling, you may never want to leave. This is how she traps you. See that stone finger over there? That is the only one who ever escaped.
My house is the red earth. It could be the center of the world. I've heard New York, Paris, or Tokyo called the center of the world. But I say it is magnificently humble. You could drive by and miss it. Radio waves can obscure it. Words cannot construct it. For there are some sounds left to sacred, wordless form.
The world begins at a kitchen table. No matter what, we must eat to live. The gifts of earth are brought and prepared, set on the table. So it has been since creation, and it will go on. We chase chickens or dogs away from it. Babies' teeth at the corners. They scrape their knees under it. It is here that children are given instructions on what it means to be human. We make men at it. We make women. At this table we sing with joy, with sorrow. We pray of suffering and remorse. We give thanks. Perhaps the world will end at the kitchen table while we are laughing and crying, eating of the last sweet.
আগারবাড়ি ওইটা দিয়ে ঢুকে যান।